The Bell of Belém, with actually two epigraphs. The first is from João Cabral, a Brazilian poet, and it's Sonho alto noite a mulher, which means at night I dream the woman. And from Emily Dickinson, I am afraid to own a body. On the park blocks, he calls himself Cabral, not the poet of daily space, but a homeless tattoo artist in it. I gotta stop. There's a naughty word in here, and I'm gonna raise my hand as it's coming up, so you'll know. On the park blocks, he calls himself Cabral, not the poet of daily space, but a homeless tattoo artist in it. He keeps his needles and pigments rolled in crimson felt. Unrolled, it appears the entrails of the lamb, figuring the future on your forearm, the hula girl who gave you hepatitis. His wife is with him. On the bench adjacent, she dances, and on his belly, he raises his shirt to expose her. She raises her skirt. These to sell their services. His belly button is her cunt, unbuttoned proof for passers-by. But I am imagining Emily Dickinson. I have always loved unavailable women. She did a little gardening and took a little sun, but I take her ghost pale legend and inscribe its body ruddy bronze. I sew her New England into my new Brazil, thinking with every prick I'd do her wrong. And to seal it in, I put her in a thong. At needlepoint, aligned against her will with the body of her work, she sweats like an armored conqueror. She takes a room at the hotel and locks herself away, emitting only aerograms. Dear Sarah, this is the hour of lead. She's the color of old china, and her bones grow thin. Even now she warrants tenderness and trinkets, blue morphos alit on porcelain, a moth the hue of this, stitched paper thin. She's torrid and misread. I offer her a popsicle. How much can she stomach? How much ink and pain? How much can I? She offers me a fascicle, much madness and handled with a chain. I do her wrong. I pound her door at midnight calling, be not afraid, I have always loved you. Rousing dogs, neighbors, parrots speaking Portuguese, never raising Emily. She's gone, long dead, and never visited Belém. These obscenities attach only to me. This image isn't Dickinson, nor even Bishop, only the vagrant and his kin. And with the rusted irons, he carves her naked image in my skin. I hope that's a good sign. This is 100 days, which, I don't know, this one should be printed on one giant page, because it's just a big pile of lines that it usually has to fit on 2 pages at least, and now it's not only 1 page but in bigger font. It makes it easier to read. As we get older and have bigger ideas, that take longer to read. This too has an epigraph from the poet Gary Miranda, who said, "Poetry will provide." 100 days. Hydraulics lower us to ground beside the army shack outside of town in equatorial dusk that darkens black in seconds, and we walk stumbling off the track into the weeds, into Caracaraí, named for a bird we never see, named for its song we never hear, which therefore grows from modest crow into 12-foot condor shadowing the mountains. We have come to find a boat we will not find, down the Rio Branco, waiting instead for the next bus before the satellite dish, watching Torre de Babel with the townsfolk, swallowing black beer and fried fish. And later in my hammock, half asleep, I dream that we've succeeded in anything, slung beneath a tanker truck, its matte belly eclipsing the sun on the foredeck. of a barge deadheading back to Manaus. Empty bottles, perhaps, a few frozen cases of Brahma beef. And there in the bleached, flat, clear burn on the highway under the pall of forest fire, I dream that poetry offers itself for 100 days as a way to imagine the world, immediate, unimpeded, remote landscapes brought whole to mind, shadows filled with sunlight, observation granted like good fortune. First down the Branco to the Negro, down the Amazon to Belém, from there to São Luís, to Salvador, Sao Paulo, and up into the Andes. Poetry instructs me in lessons, mix, image, metaphor, idea, ideogram, logogram, sensation. I am dreaming and laughing like a fool. I can't believe how simple it's become to convey the world. I will live like this, I promise poetry in exchange. I'll imagine the world and return from it, not with snapshot verisimilitude of makeshift recollection, but with unencumbered, unalloyed, pure vision. And the pairs of psychic river dolphins leap, glistening, fleeting pink over my dream of poetry. We are neither ornithologists nor ecologists, not ethnologists, geologists, whatever those are, or cartographers, not poachers, miners, foresters, or filmmakers. We are not quite linguists even. We have no right and little reason, but poetry will provide. Here we are, like going to sleep after a cocktail party in suburban Birmingham, where I said, I've always wanted to, I've always been afraid. And waking in an unplumbed room with scrap linoleum over concrete floors and a damp sling with a dry headache that will make me throw up all the fried fish in a river of black beer. And I know that right here in the middle of it, before I can pull my boots on or rinse my teeth, the promise has been kept. Our days begin, and for 100 days the world will unfurl its intricacies, all generative, all clarity, poetry falling not all eulogy, dim remembrance on a page, but as bright rain on the surface of the stream. And we will make our way never more than one slow bend in the white river from the next great avian revelation, its tipped black wings dipping the muddy shallows as it cries, Caracaraí.